Kawasaki Z125 Pro top speed. How fast can it really go? What if I told you that a motorcycle small enough to fit in the back of a pickup truck can still leave you struggling to keep up on some highways? The Kawasaki Z125 Pro looks like a toy. It sounds like a toy. But when you push it to its limits, you quickly discover there's a very real ceiling to what this little machine can do. Today, we're going to break down its real-world top speed, why that number changes from rider to rider, what actually limits this bike's performance, and whether it's truly a good idea to take it onto the highway. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the Z125 Pro can do, what it can't do, and why understanding its limits is just as important as enjoying its strengths. Let's get into it. The Kawasaki Z125 Pro may be small, but it has earned a loyal following around the world. It's fun, lightweight, easy to ride, and surprisingly capable for everyday commuting. Its compact size makes it perfect for busy city streets where larger motorcycles can feel heavy and difficult to maneuver. But whenever someone considers buying one, the same question always comes up: how fast does it actually go? To answer that, we first need to separate marketing numbers from what riders experience in the real world. Under normal riding conditions on a flat road, the Kawasaki Z125 Pro usually reaches somewhere between 60 and 64 miles per hour, or roughly 96 to 103 kilometers per hour. That's the speed most owners consistently report when the motorcycle is in good condition and the weather is favorable. Could it go a little faster? Yes, but only under very specific conditions. For example, imagine a lightweight rider on a long, flat road with almost no wind. If that rider tucks down behind the handlebars to reduce air resistance, the bike has the best possible chance of reaching the upper end of its performance. On the other hand, if you're riding into a strong headwind or climbing a hill, you'll notice the speed drops much sooner. This is because the Kawasaki Z125 Pro doesn't have a large engine with extra horsepower, waiting to overcome difficult conditions. Its air-cooled 125cc engine produces around 10 horsepower. Now, 10 horsepower might not sound like much compared to larger motorcycles, but that's exactly the point of this bike. It wasn't built to be a speed machine. It was designed to be lightweight, affordable, fuel-efficient, and enjoyable at city speeds. Once the motorcycle approaches its maximum speed, the engine is already working close to its limit. At that point, even small changes in riding conditions can make a noticeable difference. One of the biggest factors is rider weight. This surprises many new riders. Adding extra weight means the engine has more work to do every time the bike accelerates or climbs even a gentle incline. A lighter rider often has an easier time reaching around 64 miles per hour on flat roads. However, riders weighing over 200 pounds usually see top speeds closer to 57 to 60 miles per hour. That difference may not sound huge, but on a small displacement motorcycle, every mile per hour becomes harder to gain as you approach the top end. Now let's talk about something every rider experiences: the road itself. If you've ever ridden a motorcycle uphill, you've probably felt the bike slowly losing speed. With the Z125 Pro, this effect becomes even more noticeable. A steep hill can reduce the bike's speed to around 45 miles per hour, or sometimes even lower depending on the incline and rider weight. That's perfectly normal. The engine simply doesn't have enough spare power to maintain maximum speed while fighting gravity. But what happens if the situation is reversed? Imagine riding downhill with a helpful tailwind. Suddenly, gravity is working with you instead of against you. Under those ideal conditions, some riders have managed to see speeds between 66 and 68 miles per hour. That sounds impressive. But it's important to understand something. Those numbers are exceptions, not the everyday reality. They're achieved with ideal conditions that most riders won't experience during regular commuting. Another factor many people forget is aerodynamics. At lower speeds, air resistance isn't a huge problem. But once you pass around 50 miles per hour, the wind starts pushing back much harder. The faster you go, the harder the air pushes against you. That means every extra mile per hour requires more power than the one before it. Since the Kawasaki Z125 Pro only has around 10 horsepower, it quickly reaches the point where aerodynamic drag becomes its biggest enemy. That's why riders sometimes tuck their body lower behind the handlebars. By making themselves smaller against the wind, they reduce drag just enough to squeeze out another mile or two per hour. It's a small adjustment. But on a motorcycle like this, even small improvements can make a noticeable difference. Now let's answer another question that many buyers ask before purchasing this bike. Can you ride it on the highway? Technically. In many places, yes. But should you? That's a very different question. Here's the problem. If your motorcycle's absolute maximum speed is around 60 to 64 miles per hour, you're already using almost everything the engine has. That means if traffic suddenly speeds up, you have very little acceleration left in reserve. Imagine a faster vehicle approaching from behind. Normally, a rider wants enough power to safely change lanes or accelerate away from danger. With the Z125 Pro, that safety margin becomes very limited because you're already riding near the motorcycle's maximum capability. That's why many experienced riders recommend avoiding high-speed interstate highways whenever possible. Instead, the Z125 Pro feels much happier on city streets, suburban roads, and scenic back roads where speed limits stay below 55 miles per hour. That's where this motorcycle truly shines. Its lightweight frame makes turning easy, parking is effortless, fuel economy is excellent, and the bike feels playful instead of stressed. In fact, many owners say the biggest mistake people make is judging the Z125 Pro by its top speed alone, because that's not what makes this motorcycle special. The real fun comes from riding a lightweight bike that feels agile, responsive, and confidence-inspiring. Sometimes riding a slower motorcycle fast is actually more enjoyable than riding a powerful motorcycle slowly. That's one reason mini bikes have become so popular around the world. They remind riders that motorcycling isn't always about chasing bigger engines or higher numbers. Sometimes it's simply about enjoying every ride. Before we finish, let's quickly clear up one common myth. If you install performance parts, can the Kawasaki Z125 Pro suddenly become a 75 mile/hour motorcycle? In most cases, no. While certain modifications may improve acceleration or add a small amount of top speed, the motorcycle's engine size and overall design still place natural limits on its performance. Getting dramatic increases would require major modifications that often reduce reliability, increase costs, and may even make the bike illegal for street use in some areas. For most riders, keeping the motorcycle well maintained is actually the smarter choice. Fresh engine oil, proper tire pressure, a clean air filter, a healthy chain, and regular maintenance. These simple steps help the bike perform at its best far more consistently than expecting huge gains from expensive upgrades. So, what's the final answer? The Kawasaki Z125 Pro realistically tops out between 60 and 64 miles per hour during normal riding on flat roads. A lightweight rider under ideal conditions may see a little more. A heavier rider or someone climbing hills will likely see a little less. It's not built for high-speed highway travel, and it shouldn't be treated like a full-size sport bike. Instead, it's a motorcycle that delivers fun, confidence, excellent fuel efficiency, and easy everyday transportation. And for thousands of riders, that's exactly why they love it. Because sometimes, the best motorcycle isn't the fastest one. It's the one that makes every ride enjoyable. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe for more real-world motorcycle reviews, performance tests, and honest riding insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.